here, Haka. I really don't know what this is gonna be now, considering Dust 2, the staple ban out of ViCi, was let through, and they're going straight into things as well.
Just all the maps in this series are going to be interesting in some aspects, but this Dust 2 is something we're definitely going to be watching out for here. ViCi clearly have their smokes lined up. They're already setting up this mid to B split where Viva is holding down on the B site. A couple of kills now for Viva, putting in a shift on that B site defense, and there we go. The bomb goes tumbling to the ground. That is not what ViCi needed. Kaz is just kind of trapped in no man's land at this point. Almond's trying to make a move, but flying still here on the B site. And this has fallen apart for ViCi, not going according to plan for them in the pistol.
You know, looking at this, so Invictus has played this map 6 times, and they've won it the last 5 times in a row. The only time they lost it was up against Tai Lu in the Pro League, and that was 1917 against them. They won it 16-12, 16-12, 16-11, 16-12, 19-15. Then again, they played against Bretta, Divine Vendetta, HZ, Divine Vendetta, Lucid Dream. So it's not necessarily like a phenomenal map, it seems, for them. I mean, yeah, they were able to push Tai Lu pretty far, but also look at their opponents. It's not like they're playing against teams that are extremely good on a map like this, or just extremely good in general. This is such an odd pick coming through. And then the Vertigo as well, where Invictus, again, they have the better... Oh, wait, was I looking at the wrong one? No, okay, yeah. Where Invictus also have a better win rate on Vertigo. This is so odd to see, but I mean, I kind of understand the Mirage pick because ViCi has a 27% win rate on it compared to the 81%. But I don't know, man. I don't know. I think this is maybe a little bit crazy out of ViCi in a good way. Maybe they've been practicing this map secretly, and it's time for them to really bring it out, considering these are RMR points on the line, and you want to be able to get through into the finals. You want to be able to stack up as much as you possibly can, because then going into the fall event, it all comes down to that, right? And you need to have that good first foot step forward.
Yeah, I think the real surprise is maybe even that Vertigo pick, just because it feels like Nuke is just a slam dunk of a pick for ViCi, right? They won it 16-5 last time they played against Invictus on it. That's a ridiculous scoreline to have in your back pocket, but they've gone for the Vertigo, which we'll see later. Right now, we've got to see what ViCi have on this Dust 2, though. This is their first gun round coming into round number 3. Molotov being put down by Oi as he tries to hold on to the A-long control. It looks like after a quick pistol round, ViCi will be slowing things down now that we're into this first gun round.
Now, I was really wondering if there was like a potential mind game. Like, if Invictus gets through, then ViCi, even though they're losing, will still be happy, because then that means Tai Lu most likely, or couldn't, has the potential to not win 2,500 points. But then again, that's not actually, I think it's 2,000. But then again, they're not obviously hoping for that. I don't know. I like to the theory craft conspiracies, all the such. This is just so odd for them. I mean, they're playing completely different than the norm that we've seen in the last 3 weeks. The entire group stage. But let's see. They're going to push straight out towards long. Always going to be there for one. Destroyer, unfortunately, won't be good for one himself. However, this is a bonus round coming up from the CT side of Invictus. Just saw a gate. Completely overwhelmed. Flying's going to fall as well, and ViCi, this should be a round they're going to take.
Yeah, flashes over the top of A-long, set up Advent for some nice kills to begin with, and then Invictus just didn't seem ready for the rest of that A-long push. They had a couple of players not able to stop it. There's still 30 seconds on the clock. That bomb has to cross, but Alman is coming in for the flank. He will close it. It's all good for ViCi. They get their first Dust 2 round on the board throughout this entire tournament, because they don't play Dust 2, but they're here today trying to show up on this map. I think these are some pretty good signs for ViCi early on. This A-long play worked nicely for them. You can see just the flashes over the top being really effective there. So at least they seem to have some basic nades down. And if they've got at least some level of team play, Dust 2 is always a map that you should, in theory, have a chance on, especially with some of the players that ViCi have.
Haka, this is their first Dust 2 round win since October 16th, 2019.
That's crazy.
Since 10 months. Well, 9 months ago. Oh man, that's insane. Let's see, they're going to be grouping up for a hit towards B. Then again, like I said before, it was a bonus round coming in for the CT side. They didn't have the best weaponry. They have a player be flying off to the side, and that's definitely one man I'm not going to want to run into if I was ViCi. Even the stack there with Viva as well. So they're kind of leaning on the CT side away from middle, keeping Sage more in towards CT to potentially peek in if they do start to push in towards Coward, which we can see they're doing. But Destroyer, if he's going to hit a shot, this would be the time to do it. Whenever we're going to see a flash come through to force him off the angle, if he's just going to hold it. After taking the time, the flash comes through. It seems like ViCi can play Dust 2. I'll give him that. I mean, I would definitely say this should be a map that, in theory, they should know how to play.
Yeah, it's weird to have Dust 2 as a permaban, right? You'd think that everyone would be able to play it to at least some extent. So I kind of like that they're incorporating it here. I also think that they should have the AWPing advantage with Kaza against Destroyer, which is normally a big deal on Dust 2.
Yeah, it's massive. And well, speaking of Destroyer, he's now down. Jamyoung and Advent just completely swarm over the site. They get the site control. I would imagine the CT's trying to save now in the 3-on-4, except Flying is still fighting. Has a decent position towards Catwalk. I mean, he's going to be smoked off. Might have a little bit of an angle to play with, and there's another kill to come through, and potentially another. Flying with a triple kill. Now this site can be completely overwhelmed as they push in from long. Advent left alone versus 2, always on low HP, and it's not going to matter. And the retake will land. Invictus pull off a fantastic round here. And on the note, by the way, of you were saying, yeah, it should be like a decent map. You got Kaze, who should be better than Destroyer. You have Jamyoung, who's just this massive star within the team that we've seen. Like, even thinking back to Train yesterday, he had so many phenomenal plays. Advent, I mean, Almond, like, we've seen each and every one of these players can step up. And I'm surprised that this isn't a map that they like to play. They have those individual star power on the team.
Yeah, you see in this round, though, it ends up kind of crumbling for them after they seem to get in a good position. It ends up going against them with a bunch of kills coming in from the Invictus side in quick succession. And now ViCi have to go down to this weaker buy. They have got one AK in the mix, but a bunch of the players are stuck on weaker weapons into this round. The nades are pretty good for ViCi, so that's the one upside for them. And the other point worth mentioning is that Invictus have not been able to build up any money. So that's part of the reason why ViCi are going for this force buy. They know if they win this, they can try and reset that CT economy early. They can try and start to get some rounds on the board. And again, the mid control looking good for ViCi at the start of this one. They get their way up into short safely.
Yeah, it feels like Invictus are playing super passive, which is fine. I mean, retaking the A site, super easy to do on Dust 2, as we just saw. The B site a little bit more difficult, and Viva's actually pushed up aggressively in towards Dunno at the B site. A lot of information being gained, and he's even starting to lean in towards the middle here. Almond's gonna be the one checking the position, but he's only on 16 HP. Destroyer's gonna get a kill as they try to push out of long. Looks like they will go for the A site hit.
Oh, that molly onto Oi's position is not nice. He's taking damage. In the meantime, Viva's been able to get one, make that 2 with the MP9. ViCi struggling to find a way into this round, struggling to find a foothold, and Kaza gets caught at mid. Viva putting in a shift with the MP9 here, gets a triple kill to take the round for his team. ViCi there just kind of falling apart. They ended up losing every single fight. Some of those probably should have been fights that they were able to win, but they don't get anything out of that one.
You know, what's really kind of interesting to me is how the whole veto worked out, because ViCi are gonna feel like in their heads, right, are feeling more confident to play Invictus on Dust 2 than to let them have Mirage and play them on Mirage, which is a map that they played a lot more, right? I think that's kind of like an interesting mindset to have for ViCi, that they would literally go to a map they have not played or played once in 9 months, than to take it to a map that they know they can play a little bit better, but maybe have struggled on in the past. It just kind of blows my mind, and I guess that kind of shows that ViCi's not afraid to go to a challenge or to play a challenging map. Maybe we're really not feeling confident with the Mirage.
Ooh, spray from Sage is successful, and that is a very strong hold from Invictus in that one, up against the low buy of ViCi. They completely clean it up. Yeah, I wonder whether... I mean, the thing for ViCi is, even if you play Dust 2 in practice a little bit and you start to get some success on it, that it's a whole different story playing it in an official game at times. It can be a completely different experience. You kind of have to adapt to learning it. So you can maybe see why they'd want to keep this as a bit of a surprise heading into the playoffs, as not banning Dust 2 first. But so far, it's not started too well for them, even though it looks like the fundamentals are generally there for ViCi. feels like Invictus are just able to stick together. They're able to play a pretty basic game plan and end up winning the rounds. So we need to see something change for ViCi soon as Destroyer goes through that smoke. That is so ballsy, but it gets his team lots of information to work with, which is very, very nice.
Ivan's gonna be waiting on the other side of those doors. He starts to back away. He does have the bomb. And does let his teammates push up short. He's trying to hold down this angle, and if he keeps holding, he might be able to have a nice surprise here. At the same time, you have Almond trying to watch for the push in towards tunnel, which two players are going for at the exact same time, and Viva's going to take him down. They've gained some B control, and look at this. They're just pushing straight through as well. Already, Viva's going to be going in towards T-spawn. Destroyer's behind them still at long tunnels. You got flying inside of upper tunnels at the B side. This is going to be so difficult now for ViCi to take this. They have to hit some ridiculous shots if they want to have a chance. But they're actually going back towards the B side. They drop in towards CT. They go in towards middle as well. Kazi's going to take down the flank.
Oh, the kills keep on coming, but the bomb is now safely on the B side. That will be planted. That door is switched round, remember, so it's open for business. It's open for Invictus to have an easier angle, an easier approach back in for this retake. ViCi going to need some early kills here. Advent caught in the open. Quick kills coming in for Invictus Gaming. They take another round win. And again, that call looked pretty good from ViCi. They ended up getting to the B site. They ended up getting onto the bomb site, which was weaker. Some of the nades have been good for them, but they just haven't had the killer instinct so far. They've ended up losing out in some of the early scenarios in the round, this time from the B aggression. You can see Kaza trying to fight back for the team, but as they push the B site, they don't have a smoke in CT, so they end up just losing a couple more players. And unfortunately for ViCi, it does feel like they are having some issues here early on their Dust 2. You can see that they've put some time into this map, but it's not winning them rounds so far.
Rounds is what's going to all be about.
Jeez.
What? No flashbang. They just run through short straight. Diva gets himself 2 kills. I mean, I can kind of respect the switch up of pace, right? Rushing up towards short. At the same time, like, just one flashbang. That's unfortunate. And now that's going to be ViCi already playing with 2 men down. It's 6-1 for Invictus, looking like it's going to be 7-1. And then with Vertigo next, like, I see a world where Invictus can 2-0 ViCi. And if that happens, there's a world where Invictus can beat Tyloo in the finals. If Tyloo can win against Beyond later on today, we could have Invictus, again, the team who has 0 points. They had to come through a qualifier to even get into this RMR event. They didn't play it in the Road to Rio. That would be massive for them, and that would be the first step they need to get themselves a chance to get into the major.
Oh, Flying just got a kill over at B, which dropped the bomb. So ViCi are really in trouble now, as if this round wasn't going badly enough for them. And how does Viva not take a single point of damage there? He was on 9 health, but Alan doesn't land a single shot. Invictus with another clean and convincing round to take a 7-1 lead. And this is where you really start to worry for ViCi, because it has to now start to creep into the back of their minds that this is not a map they have much experience on, at least not in official games. It's very difficult to keep that positive mentality when you're losing like this on a map you don't play that often. And the problem is as well, some of these rounds have been pretty one-sided for Invictus.
Yeah, they've been very one-sided. Especially like the retakes. I mean, the thing for me is like the retake towards A. That's understandable, right? Sometimes the shots just don't go your way. And it's very hard to defend that site compared to, well, other ones. Well, you know, if it's if you look at the B side, very easy to defend. But then we'd see the retake on the 3-on-2 out of Invictus at B. And that kind of led me to some concerns for ViCi, maybe. I can understand maybe they had a better weaponry, maybe they had a good flashbang or something, but that site is doable with 2 people. Maybe it's just a one-time thing, but we need to see a little bit more to ViCi here. They're on the pistols, you even have Joking going with the dualies. I think I've only ever seen 2 kills in my entire career of ever casting Counter-Strike with those weapons.
They normally come in the pistol rounds as well, if I ever see them.
I mean, I know Get Right has like a sweet Swedish flag one. Well, not actually a Swedish flag, but the colors at least. I think MBK also uses them. That's like the only 2 players I ever see consistently ever use the dual Berettas. And I've never seen it really pick up much, funny enough. But they're going to be heading towards the A side, and maybe they'll get the bomb down towards short. They have 2 smokes. They have 2 flashes. They have a way to get in here. Can they defend after that? I'm not sure if that's going to be a possibility unless someone hits some ridiculous shots and some weapons are recovered.
Destroy's just switched to the site itself as well with the AWP. He's just repositioned, so he might have the chance to try and deny before they can even get onto the site itself. There's the first kill he was looking for. Zoking not doing anything with the dualies. He gets removed from the round. The Destroyer misses a shot, but thankfully he's got his teammate there to help him. This is not going well for ViCi. Every single player falling. Destroyer spots them over the top of the smoke at the end there. It did feel a little disjointed from ViCi as well. It felt a little slow with some of their players on the backside there, not really committing to the site push. Made it much easier for Invictus to lock it down, and you just have to look at the money for Invictus to realize how one-sided this game has been. They've got a bunch of players now above $10,000. You can see none of these kills feeling too challenging for them against the pistols. This gun round really needs to come through for ViCi. We need to see something different from them here.
Oh, maybe Kaze and the Op could be exactly what they need. Kind of going for a solo peek in towards the B side. He's going to spot out Flying, but he won't be able to hit the shot. Now we're the second. He's just going to fall. Flying feeling so confident, just challenging these players, and Viva's going to be there to support him as Flying does fall. They've already gotten themselves 3 kills. It's going to be the 3-on-2 retake, except it's just the one player. Advent can't even plant the bomb. He needs Jamyoung here to help him out, and Jamyoung's already been spotted out towards short. Now they know there's only 1 player left. Maybe he'll get the bomb planted? Or maybe not even that. Xiaosage drops him and 9-1. I mean, look at that confidence out of Flying. He didn't mind challenging Kaze. He didn't mind going back for seconds. That's insane.
Especially after you hear that first AWP shot. You stand up on top of the box, so exposed from that AWP. You know that if you just take 1 shot to the body, you're dead. But he's confident that he's going to win the fight. He's confident ViCi aren't going to get it. And that seems to really be a problem now for ViCi. They are not winning enough of these fights. I was saying earlier, the money for Invictus was good. It's now just great. It's everyone above $10,000. It just goes to show how one-sided this game has been. And Zoking's down there with 0 kills, unfortunately. He's meant to be the entry of the team. He hasn't been able to crack open these bomb sites so far. In general, it's no one that we can really pinpoint on the ViCi side that's really done too much, though. We can't really call out any of the players because it's just been the whole team that have struggled. And I don't really know what's going to change. We've got to see something switch up for ViCi because this is falling apart for them.
It really is. I'm really hoping for a bit more, honestly. I mean, Vertigo, it's not really a bad map for either of the teams, to be honest. Like, ViCi did smash Beyond on that map. But also, Invictus haven't really played any super challenging teams. I'd say, you know, both teams really haven't played any super challenging teams when it comes to that map. And, I mean, maybe I'm kind of writing this one off a little bit too quick. But with how these rounds have gone, with the scoreline we're seeing with the money, I mean, we see 9-1s with CTs having, you know, like 4 or 5K in the bank, and then they go, you know, kind of bankrupt after losing a round or two. But Invictus, you're going to have money, which feels like for the rest of the half. And they're going to go for the little run boost across. Destroyer, don't know if he's expecting him up close. But more importantly, goes for the challenge initially and then backs away. So he's going to stay alive, be that constant threat. And it seems like ViCi are just kind of almost lost.
Yeah, at least they've got this short control. I guess they can just be happy with that for now. But with 50 seconds left on the clock, they've got to make a move eventually. Aggression is about to come into the tunnels as well. Invictus wants it to start to take away the map, and Alman loses out. These individual duels have been a consistent problem for ViCi. They keep on losing fights, they keep on losing map control, and now they have to try and see if they can commit to one of these bomb sites. Moving into B through mid. Zoking gets his first kill on the board, but the kills come right back around. It's only Jamyoung left alive, and he's another one who's been very quiet so far. But with 12 health, I don't know how he's going to win this. And the answer is he's not. Flying goes straight through the flames, picks up another round for Invictus Gaming. That's now a 10-1 lead. And ViCi at least get onto the bomb site in that round, but it never really felt like they were winning that one.
Yeah, not really. I mean, it's good to at least get the extra money from the plant, right? But, I mean, just look at this. Flying just pushes up. Him and Viva together. They're just really not afraid, and why would they be? They've really not been losing any of these battles, not really losing any of these duels. I mean, Viva will eventually die there, but not before taking out another player. They're just oozing confidence. And ViCi need to do something now. They need to stop them from having this explosive kind of game. Remember, when they played up against, well, the last time they played Dust 2, which, as I said before, was like in October of last year, they lost 16-4 up against Tai Lu. They got 1 round on their they got 4 rounds on their T side, and then nothing after that. And their first round of T side came in on the 6th round. This is rough times for them, and at the same time, like, I would say this is kind of expected, but at the same note, it's kind of unexpected considering ViCi chose the map. You would assume, or like left the map open, right? You would assume they'd have something specifically planned for this if they did that after such a long gap of not playing. And that's the bomb down. Oh, that's long. What's happening?
Oh no, this nade's gonna go over the top as well. Could do even more damage. There's a smoke down, which is giving some cover, but there's also a flank coming in. Invictus have got every side locked down here. They just need to hold them. They just need to land these shots, which Destroyer is not doing. These kills coming through both ways. It's back to a 2 versus 3, and Advent gets another one, but he's the last man standing. Bomb has been dropped behind him as well. Viva on this flank, causing issues, and again, the fight not going the way of Advent. Viva closes it out with the triple kill. I think that the biggest surprise to me has been just how many of these fights ViCi are losing on an individual basis. I'd have thought they would have the edge in individuals, but here on Dust 2, that's clearly just not been the case.
Yeah, I've kind of like noticed some of those things about just shots not hitting for them, like their aim just being a little bit off today. Thinking back to, I can't remember who it was. It was, I think, yeah, it was Advent alone on the B site, trying to go for the plant, and he gets pushed by Zhao Sage. I believe it was at the AUG, and like it looks like his spray, should have been on, but I guess just the shot's really not hitting for him. And that's a position he should have, 100% had the kill. He knew he's coming through window. He's able to bait him in. But either way, now back to the pistols. Back to the dualies. Mr. Joe King himself. We've seen a 14-1 once in this tournament, Aka, and that was Tai Lu. Honestly, I think we might be seeing our second here at this rate.
Yeah, in the semi-finals of the playoffs as well. In the group stage, it's a bit more expected where you have Tai Lu playing against some of those other teams, but Invictus and ViCi generally play pretty close series, pretty close maps. Not in this one, though. Viva playing close to the tunnels, ready to drop a smoke as soon as he spots one of these opponents. Not many nades left for ViCi either. Once they start to throw their utility, they might be in trouble here. There's that counter smoke coming into play. Oh, they're just going to try and barrel through the tunnels. There's a team kill in the mix, and it's actually working out okay for them. It's into a 3v3, and this is ViCi's best chance in a while of having their chance to win a round.
It's probably one of the first times they've had equal footing when it comes to this retake coming through. Usually they're going to be down a man. Nate comes in, Kaze down to 30 HP. They got flashes still left to throw, and they even have a smoke and destroy, which he's going to put it down over towards Car. Advent trying to play on the edge of this. We're going to push straight through and then run straight into the blender, but that's still going to be the trades coming through. Oi now on the one-on-one, and he's going to clutch it out. So here, okay, even with equal players, maybe the weapon we can argue, obviously, at the end, especially with just the Deagle. Even with a 3-on-3, they still weren't able to clutch that out and hold out onto the B side push. Maybe I'm being too critical. Maybe it was just some really good flashbangs again coming through. I mean, it was just pistols for them, so I can kind of understand now that I think about it. I kind of forgot about that aspect, so I'll take that back. But I mean, even at that rate, even with just the pistols and the guns they picked up, I still expect a little bit more out of ViCi.
Yeah, it comes close there, but the trades initially looked pretty good for them. It was then just that man with the Deag left in the 1v1, which was kind of unfortunate. I think he was hoping that he could just play that car position, but it got smoked off, or it had to be smoked off, so he kind of had to move out into the open where he didn't have any cover. So unfortunately, they couldn't just delay, they couldn't just play the bomb. And oh, there we go. Kaza finding that fight at mid. Zhao Sage getting a bit too aggressive at the start of this round. Was trying to be a bit of a nuisance around the smoke, but he ends up losing out. So ViCi get a man advantage. Destroyer's getting aggressive, though, to try and counter that, to try and pull his team back into the round. They must have heard that step, though. They must have heard him drop down. They know there's a man close by. And you can see ViCi just waiting this one out. They should have nades. They're not using them, though. Destroyer trapped. He ends up getting a kill out of it, but ViCi get the frags back. A 4v2 advantage for them. And finally, it looks like ViCi are going to win their second round.
Yeah, that was a little bit of, I think, overconfidence, I'll say. Destroyer. That's like a one and done position, right? Or ideally should be a one and done position. Bomb has been planted. Only now left alone against 4, and like I said, this should be a second round for ViCi. He does have a kit, he does have a flash. And he does have a kill on a Jam Young. Now in the 1-on-3. Another person coming in from behind. We expect Almond to be here. 20 seconds left to go before the bomb's going to explode. He pushes straight in, and Kaze will hit the shot. ViCi will get a second. We won't have the 14-1. Now as we move into the last round of the half, it's not like Invictus are shy of money at all.
No, they'll definitely get the AWP back. This was that initial play as well from Zhao Sage, which I think wasn't really necessary early in the round as well. I think Invictus have had some success with their aggression, but it's normally at the mid portion of the round or normally later into the round. But pushing out into mid like that is just so dangerous. You know that there could be an AWP there. Unfortunately, as soon as that smoke starts fading, he goes down. And here's some A-long presence. We haven't seen too much of this early on, but it's working out for ViCi. They win the trades on the long battle. They take down the 3 CTs that were trying to lock it down. And ViCi get themselves into a 3-on-2 advantage.
A little bit of overconfidence, I'd say, out of Invictus in these last 2 rounds. I mean, Fine's left alone against 3. He's got a little bit of a window to play with because Almond's not going to be checked on Torture. He's going to peek directly into them, but Kaze's waiting. And that will be the 12-3 half for Invictus. But so we talk about score lines that really, 12-3, but it really didn't feel that close when playing. This 12-3, it felt like a 12-3. That was just so massive out of Invictus.
Yeah, a bit better at the end here from ViCi. I'm surprised we didn't see more of this A-long play sooner in the half. They only went for it really a couple of times, it felt like, from the start. I didn't see exactly if they had the good long spawns in any of the earlier rounds, because that's a very important aspect of fighting for long, but you'd think they'd have got them more often than the amount of times they tried to fight for that long control, which is normally a staple of a lot of teams' T side. It's normally pretty common to try and get that control and then work from there. Not something we saw them go for too often. And Dave the Drone is coming in with some stats for you guys. Viva, the utility file so far here on Dust 2. To be honest, I think any of the stats that we showed you would not paint a pretty picture for ViCi, but maybe this CT side is what they were waiting for, Jason. Maybe they've put all their time into learning the CT side of Dust 2. That's what we've got to hope, at least.
For their sake, and if you're a fan out there, then definitely. I don't know if 12-3 is really, 3-12, I guess in their case, is really possible to come back from. Because now with Invictus with control, I think they're going to look way more drilled when it comes to this map. And look at this, rushing straight up long. Not really giving a single care in the world. Viva was leading the way. The smoke's going to be coming through. Flashbang coming in. Jokin's going to try to peek around the corner, and he catches him perfectly. The problem is he can't get the kill. And the nade going to come in as well. They're taking a lot of damage on the T side. But the site will still be theirs for now. Even Oi was maybe looking for a flank in towards short. They kind of have the site. Looks like they will get the bomb planted here in the nick of time. Now, how will ViCi play this retake?
Yeah, definitely not going to be an easy one for them. They've got to worry about A-long and the site itself. Boost works out for Jamyoung. He's looking for that second kill, but in comes flying from the side. Good timing on the peak. He gets 3 kills at the end there. And Invictus continue their reign of terror here on Dust 2. It's 13-3 for them. And after winning that T-side pistol, I think they should be winning Dust 2 basically every time. From this point on, they've got to feel good.
I mean, where do you come back now? Losing the pistol. Does ViCi come back now? I guess is the follow-up question. I mean, you can see they're going for the full save here. Definitely going for the buy when Invictus get up to 14. So these 2 Mac 10s that Oi and Zhao Sage have could net themselves a ton of money. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, Hawk. I'm honestly at like a kind of a loss for words. I don't really know what to say with how this map's gone. I mean, the initial pick alone surprised the hell out of me. And it's kind of playing out the way I expected it to, with ViCi always banning it away, you know? It's kind of like, you know, Tyler's permanent nuke ban. If I see them play nuke, I'm going to be like, well, either A, they've definitely been drilling this map extremely well, or B, they're going to flop. And, well, unfortunately, this has gone the latter way here for ViCi on Dust 2.
Yeah, maybe they were trying to play the mind games, trying to bluff a little bit. I don't even know. Surely you've got to know if you're ViCi, though. If you leave Dust 2 open, Invictus are going to pick it here. Just based on Invictus being a pretty good Dust 2 team as well, I think they're always going to take that chance. And that chance has worked out for them in this round as well. ViCi with the full save, stacked the wrong side of the map, so this will be another easy one for Invictus. Even coming down to Vertigo as well. I mean, Vertigo is obviously a map that you were saying it's kind of a map both these teams play to a competent level. But I would have preferred ViCi to just go with the proven track record for them, right? Just go with that nuke that's been incredible for them throughout this tournament. Because even if you've put a ton of practice into Vertigo, sometimes that just might not come through in the actual game itself, right? It's very different playing an actual official game when the pressure's on. And the pressure of the playoffs, that can be a big difference.
Now I'm confused, because from how I'm reading the veto, nuke was banned first out of Invictus, or was it overpass banned?
I thought it was overpass banned by Invictus.
Okay, I mean, I could be wrong.
And then I thought they banned nuke second.
Okay, overpass was banned first. Okay.
Right.
Okay. I was actually just really curious to see maybe there was a reason. Yeah, why didn't they pick nuke? Why? I don't... Okay, I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I could, like, theorize some, like, crazy conspiracy theory. But I don't think that's really realistic here. Well, here we go. Looks like Almond. No, their flash going to come into a system to push in. It doesn't even come close to landing. And he's going to fall. Not much to say about that. Joking, though, in the meantime, trying to go for the 1v1 against Destroyer towards B. He gets the kill. Bomb is heading back in this direction, but they know they have one player at least towards A. And they know they had only one player to deal with towards B, as they're going to rush out of tunnel. Joking's looking for some big kills. Viva... How does he not die? He comes out with a pistol, and Joking just cannot connect the spray.
Yeah, Joking's been having a rough game. Just 2 kills on the board for him, unfortunately. And when you're playing as that B-site anchor, you've got to deliver a little bit more than that. Kaza and Advent left in this 2 versus 3 retake, and Viva should be in trouble. That's a free kill for Kaza all day, every day. There's still 2 more players to find, though, as they move back towards the site. Kaza only gets the dink, and it's all on Advent. He won't be winning the fight. Flying ends up winning the round for his team. Invictus with a 15-3 scoreline. And at this point, we've just got to hope that Vertigo is going to be more competitive than this, because this is the semi-final, Jason. This is the game that we were hyping up to be the game of the day, and it's just not delivered.
I mean, this is what it's all about, right? It's about the 3 weeks of group play, the 9 round-robin matches of best of 3s you had to play to get yourself some RMR points. It's 2K for first place. It's 1625 for fourth. About, you know, 375 point difference, which could be the decider. And look at this, now they're actually pushing straight out Advent, straight into dumpster. Gets the kill. They take that long control, and I mean, with Invictus just needing one more round, I feel like they can play lax here. And Flying already pushing up towards short. Even the smoke to cut off the angles towards long, so you can go for the 1v1 onto the site, but it doesn't matter, it gets dinked up anyways. Now Viva's left alone. He'll be overrun, and ViCi, well, they'll bounce back, they'll get themselves around, they'll rescue the AUG. But they still have 11 rounds to win before we could see an overtime. Could they potentially win 11 straight without dropping a round?
I mean, they could potentially do it, Jason, but I could potentially, you know, become the most famous actor in the world. I don't think it's going to happen for me. I'm just going to say it.
I mean, you never know.
You never know.
I mean, there's a global pandemic going on. It could take away all the actors in the world, and then you got your moment.
That's true. That's true. Thing is, I don't think I can do any accent successfully. I could try.
Not even American accent I could do well.
No?
Not even, no.
Oh, wow. Well, into a 4v4 at the start of this one. ViCi still looking to hold on a little bit longer here on Dust 2. Joking moving back towards the B site. Smoke goes down into the tunnel, so they only have to focus on mid, but Joking can't land the shots, and now Jamyoung has got the weight of the round on his shoulders. He won't be winning the fight, and I think this one's going to be over, Jason. I don't see them winning this retake.
Nope, not at all. They couldn't defend it in a 3-on-3, and take it in a 2-on-4. And always even pushed out of window, just waiting for them, licking his chops as his prey comes directly in towards his line of sight. Even flying, pushing out tunnels, that just shows the Short even wants to push out doors. Like, they really want these final kills, and they're going to have them. Kaze will die from behind, and we'll have a 16-4 on our first map of the day.